Hello, everyone. We will start the press conference with FlyQuest. First question from Tuwan. Busio, or Inspired. It was a tough loss today. What do you think were some of the most regrettable aspects of your match?
For me, it's like some individual things, like in the Kalista Renata game, like the way we were trading, we lost too much HP because I messed up mechanically. I would say same in the Alistar game, and then like a couple team fighting things. Like those things really would have changed our lanes and made our losses much easier.
For me, I think I'm still really sad about game 3 because I think I should have maybe prioritized more playing for denying Vi, the farm early game. And after the successful map split, I decided to just get top a lead and put Ambessa behind. But I think it didn't really do that much at the end of the game. And Vi still got level 6 pretty fast, and it was kind of hard to play. So I think we should have lost that game quite harder than we did. But yeah, I think that's what I'm sad at. I think next time I will try to play a bit more like selfish. I feel like that's what Asian teams are really good at. Like they're all playing very selfishly, and when you punish one player, all of them get the lead on the other side, and then they make sure that they will step up for the player that got punished. And I think maybe I could have played a bit better and yeah, make a bigger difference.
Inspired question from Namin. You had an incredible individual performance today, especially in Game 1 with Sejuani outplays and near game-saving puppy ults in Game 3. You've mentioned that it's hard to improve past this point, whether you're individually contesting international class junglers while in A. Do you think any domestic LTA North jungler is capable of pushing you further to further improvement?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a team game at the end of the day. It doesn't really matter like which jungler you face. I think the teams just are not that strong like mechanically in NA, so it seems like no matter what decision you make, you might just outplay them and come out on top. But I don't think that the junglers in the league are like way worse than Asian players. I think, as I said, I think Asian players are just harder to beat because the junglers always get ahead of you if you try to help your team too much. And they just always punish you for making plays. While in NA, sometimes you can afford to help your team more, or you can afford to make mistakes and not fall behind. While it's not possible here. But yeah, even when I'm playing in NA, I sometimes notice my mistakes, what I'm doing, but it's just sometimes harder because they're not really punished that well.
Question from FD News. During Game 3, how were the team comms after that heartbreaking throw in BLG space?
I mean, we're just saying, oh, unlucky. Maybe we should have just focused on fighting them instead of trying to end, or we could have just recalled because we were already better in the game and we had that cap on Rise and Infinity Edge on Senna. So if we just recalled, we probably would have won the game. But yeah, we felt confident that we can end there because we had Rise ult to ult the minions, and then we had Gangplank ult to maybe ult the fountain so that Ambessa and the other guy that was dead can't really come in too fast. But I think we just miscalculated Ahri's damage. I think Ahri is just really good at clearing the Baron waves because of the second Q that deals true damage, and she just killed the melee minions really fast. I think with like 2 Qs, and then we just ran out of wave, and the tower almost killed me, and we didn't end. So I think we just miscalculated. I think if we were a little bit more calm there, we would have won. But I don't think anyone was really sad after the game. We were just like unlucky. We can win.
Next question from Esports Focus. Inspired. How would you evaluate your matchup against Beishuan today?
I'm not sure. As I said, I think jungle is more of a team role. I didn't really see that many mistakes he was making. I think in fights he also played pretty well. I think their decision making was just weird sometimes. I feel like game 4 they got grabs, they are out already, and then decide to engage on us with Maokai, and off of that we just snowballed the game. In game 1, I think I just got really fed off of free kills. So after that, Sejuani was just way more tanky than she should have, so they couldn't really play their comp correctly. I don't think he did anything wrong. I think he was playing pretty well. I think they just made quite a lot of mistakes as a team. That's why the series was really close, but we also made a lot of mistakes, so that's why we lost.
Next question from Cloud Sidkey. We see so many teams picking Kalista and losing. It seems like a scrim god champ, but it doesn't seem to translate to stage, and losses are on almost every game. The community, analysts, and broadcasts can't seem to figure out why teams keep picking Callista right now. So could you guys tell us why FLY decided to go with Callista today?
I mean, Masu's very, very good at Callista, and we're very experienced with the combo. And the public's perception of Callista is that she's like an early game champion, but that's not really it. If anything, she has a pretty weak first couple levels since the nerfs. Like her level 1 all-in used to be very powerful, so it was just guaranteed prio, guaranteed winning lane. But now she's actually quite weak level 1 compared to her previous power level, and now she's more about the objective control because she's really strong because she is like a second smite almost, and she does a lot of damage to anything, and she's very strong versus frontline and those kind of comps that are frontline heavy. And then she also has the Callista ult that really enables her support to be strong in those objective fights. So if you can execute her early game and find a way to get to team fights, she's very, very powerful. But if you make, honestly, one mistake, it gets quite difficult. And that's probably why she's losing.
Busio, over to you again. A question from Sons of KS. This was one of the strongest international showings from a North American bot lane in years. And despite the loss, what are you most proud of in your performance today? And how do you plan to grow from this experience heading into LTA and Worlds?
I don't know. I'm more like thinking about my mistakes because I made pretty silly mistakes and things that I already know. So what I want to take away is do better next time in those aspects of it. But I guess I'm proud that we did a lot of problem solving, and I played a little more like loose on stage, which introduced some mistakes, but then I also made a lot of plays at the same time. So I guess I can be happy about that.
Next question from Ethan Cohen. It is the second time that FLY has lost on Silver Scrapes to an Eastern team favored on paper after last year's Worlds against Gen G. Did you feel the same pressure today in the 5th game as you felt back then? And do you think the pressure of being the West's last hope, that so many were counting on you, played a role in those setbacks?
I don't think so. I don't think we really felt pressured by that we are the last hope. I think against Genji at Worlds, I think they did really good team combo in Game 5 around the Smolder, and I think this time it was really smart by them to first pick our Galio, and they knew that we are not gonna take Rumble if they take Galio, and then they just picked Rumble 2-3, and I think Bin is really good on Rumble, and yeah, we just didn't predict them first picking Galio, and we just ran out of the answers into him, even though he was blind picked first pick, and we ended up playing Zillion, which we never really played, and yeah, I think we just got kind of outdrafted there. I think it was really smart draft by them, and well played to their coach and them.
And final question from Namin. This loss feels especially tough for NA fans, with one loss to Callista, one loss to the last second throw, and then a final loss in that Game 5. It feels different in many ways from the Game 5 loss to Gen G last year. Does that feeling of regret, depressing loss, is that resonating with you guys, and can you talk about it?
I don't know. I think Game 5 was lost because of the draft. I think we are doing fine, but mid lane had really hard lane, top lane had a really hard lane. Bot lane also had really hard lane in the early phase, and he had Nocturne, which is really strong at dueling the enemy jungler in early game, so it felt pretty hard to make anything happen. And on top of that, after 6 they had global ult, so when you have global ult as a champion and you push your lane, then you give really little counterplay to enemy team, so it didn't really feel that I don't know, it's hard to feel that sad after losing. I felt like we couldn't really do much, so so yeah, it's way more sad that we lost like Game 2 and Game 3, because I think those games we had actually pretty good drafts, and I think we just made mistakes. And yeah, I'm really sad about Game 2 and 3. I feel like those games I could have done more.
Any final words from either of you?
Thank you for watching, and hopefully see you at Worlds.
Thank you to the fans, yeah.
All right, that concludes the press conference with FlyQuest. Thank you.